You open your email and there it is. New review on your business. You click, expecting another 5-star pat on the back, and instead, you're staring at a 1-star brick. Your name is in it, maybe your staff's name. They're angry, they're unfair in places, and your first instinct is to type back something sharp to correct the record. On Google, Yelp, app stores, marketplaces, and SaaS directories, your answer sits under that review for months or years. Most people who read it weren't there when the problem happened. They don't know the backstory. All they see is a snapshot, an upset customer, and how you talk to them. They're not grading the reviewer, they're grading you. Your brain, meanwhile, is doing the exact opposite. It feels attacked, so it wants to attack back, or at least defend. That's normal. But if you let your first wave of emotion write the reply, you end up with paragraphs that sound sarcastic, defensive, or revealing way too much private detail about the customer. The thank you gambit is a way to interrupt that pattern. It forces you to switch from I'm under attack to I'm collecting signal. The words, thank you for taking the time to share this, are not about telling the reviewer they're right. They're about telling everyone else, I'm a professional and I can stay calm while I figure this out. But you can't jump straight to that reply. Before you ever type thank you into a public box, you do some quiet homework. When a negative review lands, your first job is to capture it, not clap back. Take screenshots of the review in context, the star rating, the username, the date, the platform, and if relevant, how it appears in Google search results. Drop those into a private reputation and security log. If you don't have one yet, make one today. A single document or note where you paste links, images, and short notes about anything that touches your public image or your customer's safety. In that log, write down how you found out about the review and your first impression in plain words. Saw 1 star on Google complaining about slow refund. Trustpilot user says we leaked their data. This log is not for marketing. It's for your future self and maybe for support teams, lawyers, or regulators if things ever escalate. Next, you investigate offline. This is where you stop being the hurt founder and become the detective. Ask simple questions. Does this reviewer match a real customer in your CRM, ticketing system, or order database? If they mention dates, can you see what happened on those dates? Are they describing an actual transaction or something that doesn't exist in your records at all? Pull up your internal logs. If they say, support ignored me for 3 weeks, check the ticket timestamps. If they claim they were charged 3 times, look at your payment provider's logs for duplicate charges or failed attempts. If they mention, someone logged into my account, check your auth logs for unusual IP addresses, new devices, or password reset requests. Every finding, whether it makes you look good or bad, goes into your log. Ticket opened on Monday, replied Tuesday, no response. Yes, we did double charge. Error shows in Stripe on this date. No account with that email. Might be wrong company. You don't need perfect forensic language. You just need a clear timeline anchored in real systems, not feelings. Sometimes the review is the first sign of something bigger. All my cards were compromised after using your app. Your staff shared my details. I got a login code I never requested. These might be angry misunderstandings, or they might be clues. If there's even a hint of account takeover, data leak, or payment abuse, treat it as a mini security incident too. Check related logs, see if others reported similar issues, and, if needed, escalate to whoever handles security for you or your vendors. If there's even a hint of account takeover, data leak, or payment abuse, treat it as a mini security incident too. Check related logs, see if others reported similar issues, and, if needed, escalate to whoever handles security for you or your vendors. Only after this quiet investigation is it time to think about your public answer. And that's where the thank you gambit becomes useful. Thank you, in this context, doesn't mean you're absolutely right and we are trash. It means you've given us a signal and we're grown up enough to say we heard you. To someone deciding whether to work with you, those 2 words at the start of a calm, structured response are powerful. They signal self-control. A strong thank you reply usually has 4 ingredients: appreciation, context, responsibility, and a next step. Appreciation is the opening line. "Thank you for taking the time to share this," or "Thank you for flagging this experience." You're not agreeing with every detail. You're recognizing the effort of speaking up. Context is what you learned from your logs and systems, explained in plain, non-defensive language. We checked our ticket history and can see we replied 2 days after your message, but it's clear we didn't solve your issue. Or we've searched our records and can't find a booking under this name. There's a chance you were dealing with a different company using a similar name. The trick is to use your internal facts lightly. You're not dumping logs into the reply, you're distilling them. Responsibility is where you own your part without oversharing or self-incriminating. If you messed up, say so plainly. "We were slower than we should have been," or "You're right that our process here wasn't clear." If you didn't mess up, but the situation still hurt them, you can still acknowledge impact. "We're sorry this felt like we weren't listening," without admitting things that aren't true. The next step is your exit ramp out of the public thread. If you're open to it, please email us with your order number so we can make this right. Or our team has already issued a refund and sent you an email with details. If you don't see it, please check your spam folder or contact us directly. You're telling future readers, "We don't argue for sport, we try to resolve." Notice what's not in that reply. No sarcasm, no, "As we already told you in our numerous emails." No public dumping of private details to prove the reviewer wrong. You never want your answer to be the part people screenshot on Twitter as a "wow, look at this company melting down." What about reviews that are obviously fake or part of a coordinated attack? The "thank you" Gambit still helps, but it looks a little different. Let's say you see 3 one-star reviews in an hour, all with similar wording, clearly not real customers. They say things like "total scam" with no specifics, or paste the same paragraph on multiple platforms. In your incident log, you mark the pattern, timestamps, usernames, text. If you've received DMs demanding money to remove bad reviews, keep those too, with screenshots and email headers. Your response here might be something like, "Thank you for your comment. We take feedback and security seriously, and we're not seeing any record of you as a customer in our system. We don't find any matching order, subscription, or support ticket under this name. If you've interacted with us under a different name or email, please contact us so we can investigate." Short, calm, and factual. Parallel to that, you're using the platform's tools to report these reviews as suspicious or fraudulent. In your report, you reference your log. 3 reviews within an hour, same wording, no matching customers, extortion email attached. You're not promising the platform will remove them, but you're giving them high-quality, verifiable data. If a review crosses the line into doxing, threats, hate speech, or posting of personal financial details, your "thank you" doesn't go to the reviewer. It goes to yourself for not panicking. You document it, report it for policy violations immediately, and, if there's real-world risk, consider contacting local authorities. Your public reply might be minimal or non-existent while the abuse is under review. Safety comes first. Now, from a reputation point of view, the "thank you" Gambit does something subtle but important. It shows pattern. 1 calm, appreciative reply could be a fluke. 10 of them, over a year, under various reviews, create a track record. A potential client scrolling your reviews sees that even when people are harsh, your tone is stable. That's what reassures them far more than a page of generic 5-star praise. It also helps internally. When you adopt a "thank you" plus facts plus next step structure as your default, your team has a template. Your social media manager or community person is less likely to fire off defensive replies in the heat of the moment because they have a script and a process. You can even build it into your playbook. Negative reviews get logged, investigated, then answered with a "thank you" and clear next step. No same-day replies while we're still angry. Let's touch the compliance angle briefly, because sometimes a negative review hints at obligations beyond "say sorry." If a reviewer credibly claims their personal data or card details were exposed, or that their account was accessed without their consent, your job isn't just to craft a nice reply. You may have duties to investigate, notify affected customers, or even inform regulators depending on your jurisdiction and industry. I'm not giving you legal advice here, but I am telling you, don't use the "thank you" template to paper over potential incidents. In those cases, your public comment might be, "Thank you for raising this. We take reports like this very seriously. Our security team is investigating and will contact you directly via the email on your account so we can understand what happened and take any necessary steps. Then you actually investigate. Your log and your screenshots become part of your evidence trail. There are a few easy-to-spot mistakes that make any negative review reply look bad, no matter how right you are on the facts. One is arguing line by line. At 10:31 you did this. At 10:32 we did that. Your order was exactly 3.4 minutes late. Technically you agreed to. That might impress a judge in a small claims court. It does nothing for someone deciding whether you're nice to deal with when things go wrong. Another is using copy-paste corporate fluff. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Written under 50 different reviews is obvious. It doesn't sound like thank you. It sounds like we're not really reading this. Personalizing your thank you doesn't mean writing a novel. One concrete detail: we're sorry you waited so long on the phone, or we understand it's frustrating when a booking falls through, goes a long way. A third mistake is trying to win against a clearly unstable or bad faith reviewer. Some people are not looking for resolution. They're looking for an audience. You can still use the Gambit. Thank you for your feedback. We've looked into this internally and believe we've done what we can on this matter. If you'd like to discuss it further, you can reach us at, and then stop. Future readers see you drew a boundary without mud wrestling. And finally, there's the mistake of letting negative reviews pile up without any response at all. Silence reads as, "We don't care," or "We're not here." Even a short template-based "thank you, here's how to reach us" is better than nothing. It shows presence. You will get negative reviews. If your business or personal brand is visible at all, some of them will be unfair, some will be valid, and a few will be malicious. You can't control that. What you can control is how disciplined your responses are. Your process looks like this. You capture the review and log it before you touch the reply box. You investigate quietly using your systems, not your memory. You classify the review: honest complaint, misunderstanding, fraud, or abuse. You check whether there are any security, privacy, or legal implications. Then, and only then, you write a short, calm answer that starts with "thank you," reflects what you've actually found, and invites the reviewer into a more private, structured channel if there's something real to fix. Over time, that habit does something powerful. It trains you and your team to treat reviews as signals, not personal attacks. It builds a visible pattern of professionalism under pressure, and it means that when someone scrolls through your bad days, what they remember is not the angry 1 star, but the steady tone underneath.